So what you'll need is a strap and 3 blocks and a blanket. And we'll take a little flow to warm us up into the next set of exercises. Blocks against the wall, shoulder width apart. Have your palms cupping the edge of the blocks. And then tuck your back toes and lift into your downward facing dog. If you're tighter in the hamstrings, bend your knees. Notice if you're rounding your back, try to lengthen in a low back. Ears between the biceps. Push the blocks away. Inner creases of your elbows forward. So draw the wrinkly parts of your elbows down towards the mat. And just breathing here, opening up your calves, your ankles, your hamstrings, your back. And then walk yourself forward to the wall. Feet will be pretty close to the wall, hips width or even a little bit wider. Tuck your chin to your chest, take the upper back against the wall, and then hands can go to opposite elbows or they can hold behind your ankles. Straighten your legs and press the back against the wall to create tension. And then from there, you'll really feel a stretch in the entire posterior length of your thighs. To come out, push the floor away, bend your knees, and then step your left foot back into a low runner's lunge. Lift the chin, lift the chest, look up, and then straighten your right leg, hinge back, half split. Bend into the right knee, lift the chest, look up. Straighten the right leg, hinge back, half split. One more time, bend into the right knee, inhale. Then exhale, straighten. Flex the foot, draw the chest forward. Bend your right knee, step the left foot forward to meet your right. Feet hips width, bend the tuck chin to your chest, back against the wall, fold. Trying your best to straighten your legs so they're a little bit bent, that's okay, but doing your best to eventually someday get to straight. And all of these exercises, if they feel challenging now, just know that they will get easier. It's all a process. And push the floor away, lunge the right foot back, lower the right knee down, inhale, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, straighten, flex the foot and hinge. Bend your left knee, inhaling arch. Straighten the left leg, hinge. One more time, bend into left. Make a big loop in your strap, and we'll just take that around our back. Have the strap at the base of your shoulder blades so that when we do lay back, it's almost like you're lengthening your chest up. Okay, so come on down to lie down. Have this part of the strap ready so that you can either loosen the strap or you can tighten the strap. Knees bent, heels in close to your hips. Bend your right knee and take the ball of the foot into the strap. From there, start to adjust whether you want less tension or more tension on the strap. And then, if you have tighter hamstrings, you can just stay with the knee bent. Concentrate on lengthening and breathing into hamstrings. Or you might start to kick your right leg up to the ceiling, flexing your toes towards your face. Right? Activate your hips to ground down and find neutral in your spine. So I'm not rounding my spine and I'm not arching my spine. I'm finding a neutral position in my pelvis. Left leg can straighten out to the floor to deepen. Flex your left toes and activate left thigh to press down into the mat. Right hip, instead of opening wide, think about closing your right hip, drawing the right butt cheek towards the left butt cheek. Hands can stay by your sides and just breathing, or you might start to walk the hands onto the straps, maybe even around the ball of the strap, and gentle tension. So I like this method because instead of just using the strap to grab the foot towards you, it kind of allows you to relax your shoulders a little bit, letting the strap do more of the work rather than your arms pulling your leg towards you. And it allows you to observe. So observe how your hips are, observe your hamstrings, and observe your breath. Keep everything active. The toes are active. Your thigh is grounding. Breathe. And if you do want to take it a little closer, you can add a little more tension with your arms, maybe holding it there, and then choking up the tension of the strap to take your thigh to a deeper, newer position. And then again, staying for a few breaths here. Maybe even a little bit more. So as the body starts to get more comfortable into these positions, you'll find that your inhale might ease you out a little bit, and then your exhale can take you a little bit deeper, and see if that meditative flow can create some new space. Now what we're going to do is lift our head and our shoulders, really draw the strap in, tighten it up, create a lot of tension, and then lift your left leg. Right leg will come closer, try to keep it there, tighten the strap, close the tension, kick the left leg away. Keep going, left leg up, swing it down, up, swing it down. And then as you take it up, if you find that you're easing in a little bit, you can keep tightening up the strap. Good. To come out, I want you to bend your knee and take the foot away from you. Hug your knee into your chest. Release some tension from the strap, and then let the strap relax. Right knee in, you can make circles with the knee. Then bend your left knee and take a half happy baby. Right hand to the pinky edge side of the foot. Draw the knee down, plug the tailbone down. Relax your shoulders into the mat, lengthen in the space of the neck. Take a hip stretch. Ankle on top of the thigh for figure four. Straighten the left leg. Hands underneath your left hamstring for it to be easier, and you'll hug in. Or bend the left shin in, hands in front of the shin, and a little bit more challenging to hug in. Flex both feet. Draw the right knee away from you. Plug your tailbone down. Again, you're not rounding, or more like an arch, I guess. You're trying to find neutral in that low back region. If you still need more, you might wrap your right elbow around the right foot, and then wrap the right elbow around the right knee. Draw the shin in and step your left foot down. And then maybe even straightening your left leg out. Step the foot down, release your right foot, and then let's switch sides into the left. So have the strap ready again. Make sure there's enough tension that you loosen it from the first side so that the left foot can go in easily. And just let the body record, find the neutral in the pelvis, and then press the foot up towards the ceiling, flex the toes. And again, remember you can always keep the knee bent if there's too much tension in the hamstring. And then the right leg might straighten out, flex the right toes towards the ceiling, ground the right thigh into the floor, lift your left foot up. Rather than letting the hip hop wide, wrap your hip down. So think of inner thigh spinning towards outer thigh slightly. Breathe. I'm actually much tighter on my left side too, so you can see the difference. All those Instagram photos of doing it on one side. Don't forget to balance it out. You might lift the leg a little bit higher, and then maybe even add some more tension to the strap. Maybe hands lift, and then again you can choke up the tension on the strap. Try your best to keep the leg straight, or to even just straighten. Even just thinking about it will help. And again, breathe. So that the inhale presses the foot up, and your exhale melts the thigh closer to your chest. And lift yourself up towards your thigh. Add as much tension as you can. Lift your right foot up and swing it away from you. Lifting it up. Exhale down. Inhale up, maybe adding more tension. Exhale down. Inhale. And exhale. Bend your left knee. Hug knee to your chest. Lengthen out the strap. And then let the strap relax. Left knee into left armpit, right foot steps down. Taking a half happy baby. Grounding your tailbone down. Then take your reclined pigeon. Hand can be underneath the hamstring. It can be in front of the shin. Find what works for you. Then ground your tailbone. Flex both feet and press your left shin away from your chest. If you'd like to deepen, right elbow around left foot, left elbow around left knee. Right foot will step down, shin to your chest. Or maybe even start to straighten your right leg out. Okay. Release, rock up and down your spine, and then come to a nice tall seat. Do our split. Come on up to almost like a tabletop on your hands and your feet. And then step your right foot to the middle of the mat. Lift your left leg and take your left shin to the mat. You might have to adjust, right foot might have to walk forward more. It might even be really far forward depending on your flexibility. You can even bend your front knee if it's too much on the hamstring. Hands on blocks on highest setting. And then dial your left hip down and square butt cheek to butt cheek. Right? If it's too easy, hands can walk closer, foot can walk closer, thigh can slide up. You can even tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and square the hips this way. Okay? And then make sure you switch sides. So I showed this in my last tutorial for standing split. This is a great way to work your hamstrings from a different position rather than just the floor. Right hip draws down, left hip draws up. Lift the chest. And then you might start to lift the leg up the wall, lift the chest. Square the hips. If it's too much, you can of course just come down a level onto the blocks. Right, so the higher your chest is lifted, the harder this pose will become. Okay. Step your left foot forward and then walk your left foot wide. Take the blocks to the inside of your foot, walk your right leg back for lizard lunge. Forearms can come down to the blocks. Then lengthen your spine forward and we'll open the outer hips. So if this is a little bit too difficult, you can always lift your blocks up to the highest setting and then take your forearms there, right? Or if it's a little bit too easy, you might remove the blocks altogether and take the forearms down to the floor. Lift the chest. If there's still a little bit more depth for you, you can walk the arms forward and then thinking one day, taking your chest and even your chin down to the floor. And if that's not accessible yet, you can always use blocks. From there, back. From there, draw the hips in. And then we'll find our strap again. And this time, tighten it more, depending on how open your back hip flexors are. So for splits to happen, right, it's not just about the front hamstring opening, but it's about this back hip stretching. The front of this back hip needs to be pretty flexible as well to sit your hips all the way down. So we'll stretch that from our lizard lunge. The foot stays a little bit wide. Your right hand will walk down maybe a little wider. Then bend your back knee and hook the foot into the strap. Feel how the strap draws your belly away from your front thigh. Lift your chest and then allow that melting action of back hip coming down towards the floor to stretch open the front of your back hip. Right, so if this is like too much for you, you can always just loosen the strap. If it's not enough, you can tighten the strap. You can even grab hand to foot, pulling heel in, lifting chest. Well, from your low lunge hip flexor work, we'll keep the strap and just make it longer so that it can go around the ball of your front foot. Have your 2 blocks ready by your shin bone, and then flex your left foot forward and kick the foot out. Have the base of your strap behind your shoulder blades, so the rib cage really, and kick the foot forward. From there, tuck your back toes and square the hips. So this is our traditional half split, except with the strap, it provides a little bit more information on keeping that lift in chest. Otherwise, traditionally, our instincts are to round the spine once we are stretching our hamstrings. Instead, we want to find that length in the spine, drawing the hips back and the chest forward. And as you get a little more comfortable, you might start to extend into your longer split. And then maybe even, if you're advancing, take the blocks underneath your forearms. And then lengthen your spine forward, look forward. Right? So again, the blocks can be on a high setting if you're coming down to your forearms. Square the hips, left hip back, right hip turns down, rather than this action of drawing right hip up. Butt cheek lines to butt cheek as best as you can, and then pull the chest forward, breathe. Okay, good. To come out, unloop the foot, finding your child's pose, and then let's switch sides. Low lizard lunge with the blocks inside of my foot. And then I might come on down to my forearms, melting my chest down, breathing. I may come down to lower setting, maybe to low setting, maybe to no setting at all, or maybe even walking my chin out, my chest down, and my arms forward. From there, you can pop back up to your hand and have the strap handy. Bend your back foot, loop the ankle into the strap, and then look past your right shoulder, look up. Remember you can adjust the strap for whatever tension works best for your body, or you can even pull the foot in, the heel in towards your hip. The heel in close, unloop the foot, come on back, and then let's take half split. So blocks prepared first. Keeping the foot wide to start for a little bit more ease. Have the strap ready and lengthen your strap so that it will go around the ball of your foot. Kick the foot forward, lift the chest. Maybe start to walk leg back. Forearms can come down, strap can tighten, lift, breathe. Now that we've warmed up and stretched our hamstrings, we're going to move a little bit deeper into an exercise that will help us get into full split. So have your mat at the back, close to the wall, and have a blanket ready for the front foot. Have the front heel in the middle of your blanket, and walk yourself back until your back knee is on the mat for cushion, and your toes are against the wall. foot is in midline. Lift the chest, inhale, and exhale, slide it out. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, push into the blocks, then square the hips. Maybe start to come a little lower. And kick the blanket out. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, square the hips. Maybe come down. Back knee can bend. And we'll just repeat this as many times as you like. Inhale to push the floor away, kick the blanket out. Exhale to square the hips, bend your left knee, sink the hips down. One more time. Inhale, kick the blanket out. Exhale to square the hips, bend the knee, take the hips down. Come on down to your forearms when you're at your limitation and try to breathe steady. Lengthen the spine rather than rounding and crunching. And maybe continue to kick the blanket out, untuck the toes this time, and squaring the hips, and continuing this exercise of left hip down, right hip back. You might even sit up. And then to come out, pull the hamstring in, bend the knee, child's pose. Okay. Other side. Left heel to the blanket in the middle, blocks on the highest setting to start. Back knee is on the mat, toes are tucked. Lift your back knee, then square the hips. Left hip back, right hip down. Kick the blanket out. Bend your right knee, sink the hips down. Lift the knee, kick the blanket, square the hips, bend the knee, hips down. Couple more rounds. Inhale, lift, kick, square, lower. One more. Lift, kick, square, and lower. When you're there, come on down to your forearms. You can place a blanket or a block underneath your left hip if it's far from the floor. And then untuck the toes, concentrate on drawing left hip back, right hip down, and sending the hips down. And you can really see that my left hip is a lot tighter. Hip back, right hip forward, hips down, lift the chest, 2. And 1. Pull it in, bend your left knee, find a low lunge, find a child's pose, and rest.